Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor of the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, I don't normally talk about like Kickstarters on this side of the tavern, but I've had a number of people uh, reach out to me, ask me essentially why I thought this wasn't being covered. It didn't ask me why I wasn't covering it per se, but they did ask, like, why do you think this isn't being covered? And I was like, huh? And it's the Knave RPG second edition. It was kickstarted. It was due. I think the ship end of 2023. We're in March. It hasn't arrived yet. It's kind of within the realm of margin for a Kickstarter to be late, but here's the thing. There were copies available at GaryCon. Now, this happens a lot of times with Kickstarters, right? Backers don't have their copies, yet copies suddenly start going for sale. Usually it's at a convention. Sometimes it's actually at the creative publisher's website. And then you're really left scratching your head because you as a backer, and you can see I'm a backer, I back this project. You like to think that you helped make it happen. You'll be treated as such. All right. There's no I don't know if there's a right answer for selling copies of whatever you kickstarted at a convention before copies are even shipping to your backers. I don't know. I can certainly see going around with some sample copies to show off, but have copies available to sell when your backers who give you the money to publish don't even have a shipping date yet. That's a little rough. So here is the Nave Kickstarter and the latest update from March 21st. From Jacob Hurst, Collaborator. He was at GaryCon along with Ben. And hey, you know what? Initially, when I saw this update, I didn't think much of it. And listen, I backed a lot of Kickstarters. This one looked interesting. I said, hey, it's old school. Let me get on it. And then I've got so much to read. Games that I've backed or purchased otherwise, material, that this wasn't on the forefront of my mind. But then I got started getting PMs on Discord, on Facebook, and the update was, hey, when are they shipping? We still don't know. The communication from the printer has been 100% clear if all the books are printed, packed, and ready to go. Or if that process is happening this week. Well, we're a week later after this update, and I don't think there's a new update, but I could be wrong. That said, we're at the any day now point of completion for the books. Designs and posters, or zines, the zines and posters are complete and in a warehouse ready to go in San Antonio. What's the current situation? Well, here's the interesting part. The printer was able to air freight 2 boxes, approximately 60 copies, of the premium cover version of Knave to us on Tuesday of this week, so that have some available at GaryCon. We weren't sure up until the last minute if that was going to happen or if that was going to be possible. It all came together. If you see a copy of Knave pop up on social media somewhere, that's where it came from. No books are available for general sale and won't be until the Kickstarter begins fulfilling. So now I'm gonna skip through because the way comments work on Kickstarter updates is it starts at the most recent. So you got to scroll down, and you can see that there's at least one person that canceled their pledge, because when they cancel their pledge, or one person whose pledge was canceled without asking for it because apparently uh, they were saying some unkind, abusive things to other backers. Hey, some people are like, "Hey, I backed at limited, and I'm here at GaryCon, and I wish I had mine." Well, and that's something I would say. If I think that there would be less people upset if it was, "Hey, if you're at GaryCon, let us know. We can arrange for you to pick up your copy." Oh, well, that would be pretty cool. And then you could say, we took care of backers that were at GaryCon. This way we didn't have to ship. Hey, that's awesome. That's not the case. So some backers are PO'd. Um, Ben and Jacob aren't ignoring us. They are off enjoying GaryCon. Okay. I'm guessing they will lie low for a few days and hope everything dies down. Which calculated how many people respond to this incident. Maybe they figured everyone else does this nowadays, so we can too. Which is certainly there are many creators that do pull stuff like this. And I do say pull because when you're a backer, you expect to get your stuff before the general public. And to say, well, it wasn't the general public, it was just people at GaryCon, with 60 copies is not going to make or break the company. All right. If selling 60 copies at a con is going to be your break even point on this project, your project has some issues that aren't being discussed. But I'm going to forward up here to a response from Jacob Hurst a week ago. In response to someone named Spencer, he goes, "I'm a book publisher. I'm here to sell books. That's what I'm going to do. Also, as a creator myself, I think it's important for a creator to be able to have copies of their book available at a convention they're physically attending whenever possible. If I can make that happen, I'm going to do so." It's a truthful answer, right? He's expressing his belief. It's also, in my humble opinion, doesn't sound good. All right. It could have been phrased differently. It didn't need to be necessarily as blunt. It's, yeah, you're a book publisher, but you're also a Kickstarter creative who, and Kickstarter, listen, again, I'm a super backer. Kickstarter is going to the public with your hand out and saying, you know, if you give me money now, I will give you a product in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 2 years. But I promise I'll give it to you before I give it to others. Like the general public. I won't put it on sale to the general public before I make sure you get it. And this doesn't just happen, by the way, folks, in of the RPG Kickstarters. It happens at times with other types of Kickstarters. I had it happen with oh god, some a computer. I forget what it actually was. A computer drive. I and went for sale. I got it 6 months after it was already being sold on Amazon. Now, often, and that we're not hearing it here, but often the excuse is, well, we need to make money. And the issue is you've already paid, right? You, the backer, have already paid. They're not making money off you. You're already a sunk cost. So I don't know. I guess they weren't just handing them out, but Scorny again. I assume that the plan was to have the books at least shipping the back as part of GaryCon. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. You have to understand this is a really bad look for you all, effectively telling your backs that they can wait while GaryCon attendees get to buy copies of the premium edition. You made a bad call here. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's bad optics. And whatever benefits they got from selling 60 some odd copies at GaryCon, they've gotten bad optics about it. But they're not the only publishers that do this. They're not the only Kickstarter creatives that have done this. I mean, this thread goes on with people saying, well, it's okay, I can wait. And other people saying, now I know exactly uh, so not only are you giving a finger to the backers by serving random people at a con first, but you just had to do it with the deluxe edition, huh? Effing weak. Real dick move. I'm going to remember the shit next time a Kickstarter has your or Ben's name on it. Now, I don't know Jason, I don't know Ben, but I do know Kickstarters. And again, you back the number I have, this isn't uncommon. This is more common than it should be. And that is sad. And it isn't even like, oh, well, we have a date for you for shipment. They still didn't have a date for shipping when they announced, but we do have 60 copies in hand. And I understand the excitement of saying, I got my copies in hand. I wrote this and it looks beautiful, and I want people to have their hands on it. But the people that have already paid for the work that you're selling don't have it. And that's a shame. And again, I don't want to seem like I'm calling out Jason and Ben, although I am calling out Jason for his tone deaf response. It was not good. But here's the thing. Publishers do take you, not all of them, but the larger they get, the more successful they are, they often forget that the backers are what allow this project to go forward. How do you correct that as a backer? Well, I would say one way would be to make a point to patronize those that do the right thing. I'm not saying don't spend your money on a game that you like, even to go, oh, well, last time they did this at a convention, we still had to wait another 2 months. I'm not saying, but if you see someone who consistently treats their backers like gold, know that that's where you should be telling your friends, your social media people, hey, this project is awesome, right? Isn't this what we want to do? Isn't this what it's about? Scott Swift was on last night on Talking Crit. He has a new project up. Not only it looks amazing. It's on Kickstarter, but he's offering his prior PDFs for pay what you want at drive-through right now, so you can get a sample of the work he does, and you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. Or you can download it for free, go, oh, this is awesome. I'll toss $1 or $2 into the tip jar. And you can do that. Those are the people that you want to make sure they know you appreciate the work that you do. Well, there's a certain size where you, as the individual backer, no longer as much value as you think you should, as you probably should. And I think rewarding the smaller publishers with the smaller publishers that do it right, the creatives that do it right, and treat you, the backer, like gold, like you get your priorities. You get the board first. Yes, come on, right? Wouldn't you hate to see this? You had your first class ticket, but some rando flying, I don't know. Yeah, they're flying comps, but they get to go on to the plane first. And sorry, maybe your seat has to get booted until the next flight. That's kind of like what's happening here. People are getting something weeks, months before the backers are. I've seen it happen. It's going to continue to happen as long as we, as Kickstarter backers, allow such to happen. So again, I'm not faulting Ben and Jason for this because it happens constantly. Doesn't make it right. But if the perception is you can do it and so be it, people are going to do it. Support those that treat you like gold. I can't stress it enough. I really can't. All right, folks. On that note, I will leave a link to this. Is this a backers only update? I didn't get up. Let me double check. No, it doesn't look like it's a backers only update. So you should be able to read it. You can't comment on it, but you can certainly read it. Or if you are a backer, you can tell Jason that, hey, you understand. Maybe you wish things had been differently, but you understand. And to get this kind of response to only I could see saying, hey, well, they sent me 500 copies of Knave early, so I could sell it at Gen Con. Got to go with it. And I'll take the pushback. It's 60 copies, and it was sent by air, so there's little if any profit that was made on this. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would do that to your backers, but I'm neither Jason nor Milton. Okay, or Jason or Ben, I should say. So, folks, let me know what you think. Give me your opinions. Maybe I'm totally off base. I could be. I'm trying to find a balance on this one. Comment, like, subscribe. Other than that, folks, as always, be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well. Tomorrow is a Friday, 5th Friday of the month. No live stream. There will be a video, but there will be no live this week. Next week, I'm back with Glenn. Maybe a special guest. All right, folks. Catch you later.